Hi, it's Lori, and this vlog is for newbies that are getting ready to go into P3. So we seem to have a lot of newbies right now, and it'll be your first P3, and I know that that can be really nerve-wracking and kind of scary. So I remember my first P3, I was like searching for all these vlogs. I need to see vlogs. I need to know what to buy. What do I eat? What do I do? What do I need? I want to make sure I have everything I need right here at the house. And I guess part of my problem was that we don't have like a Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or any kind of health food store like that anywhere in the vicinity. So um, I actually went to Michigan a couple hours away, well, a little over an hour away, and did my shopping there. And I'm so glad I did. But anyway, and I had just gotten my income tax return back, so I actually had some money to spend, and I ended up stocking up on stuff big time. Lasted me a long time. So anyway, I'm no expert, okay? But I've been around the P3 block a time or two or three. So hopefully this video will be helpful to you. And I'm hoping that some of the veterans, some of the experienced P3ers will watch as well so that you can add to the comments below anything I might miss or any corrections that, if you see that I've made a mistake on something, please don't hesitate to correct me. So newbies, make sure you check the comments. You might want to read through those just to see what other people have to say too. Um, I'm going to be looking off to the side or down a lot because I do have notes here. I made notes because I don't want to forget anything. I think it's important. So I'm just trying to be helpful. So, this is not like something you don't need every single thing that I'm going to tell you about. These are the things that I have here mostly all the time in my refrigerator, my freezer, and my pantry. So I'm going to try to throw in some tips here and there too, because there's some helpful tips that I feel like you need to know if you don't already. Okay, first and foremost, the first thing I want to say, I cannot stress enough: read labels. Read your ingredients. Read your nutrition labels. It's very important. There are so many hidden sugars in foods. It's unreal. And there's so many different names for sugar that it's hard sometimes to figure out, does this have sugar in it or not? So I'm going to put a link down in the description to a web page that has a huge list of all different names for sugars and all different kinds of sugars that can be in things. And some of them are different on the glycemic index and all that good stuff, but I'm not real up on that, so I'm not going to go into that. You'll have to search that for yourself because I don't know a lot about the glycemic stuff. Anyway, I look at sugar in the ingredients, but the first thing I check when I'm first starting into P3, the first thing I check is the carb count, and if it's real high, I just put it back on the shelf. I don't even bother to read the ingredients, or if the ingredients list is super long, if it's got more than about 5 things in it, I just put it back. It's probably not good for you. So anyway, like I said, you're not going to eat every single thing that I tell you, but this is just what I use on a regular basis. So I'm just hoping to give you a good start on a successful P3. All right, here goes. In my fridge and freezer, first of all, I recommend against any lunch meats in P3 when you first start out because almost all of them have sugars in them. Even whether it's from the deli or prepackaged, it's going to have sugar in it. You can even go to the deli and ask to see the ingredient label and the nutrition label, and they'll take it out of the case and show you, and I guarantee you it's got sugar in it. So unless you're at a health food store, you might be able to find something, but I just recommend against the lunch meats. It's the same with sausage. You want to check your labels. You're going to find sugars. So bacon. Be very cautious with bacon. Most bacon has sugar in it. Almost all bacon has sugar. You can find it without. I know Walmart, the kind I buy is from Walmart, and I don't remember the brand name offhand, but it's a low sodium bacon, and it is sugar free. I have 2 Walmarts in my area, and one of them, they're in the same town, and one of them has that bacon and the other one doesn't. So anyway, okay. Some things that I always have on hand. I always have pepperoni. And you can get turkey pepperoni or low sodium pepperoni. I just get the regular stuff. Everybody in the house eats it. I always have cheese. Buy your cheese in a block and shred your own. The pre-shredded packaged cheese has starch in it. It keeps it from sticking together. Um, I always have Laughing Cow cheeses. Those are nice. Cream cheese. Eggs. I always have lots of eggs. Low carbers, P3ers, use a lot of eggs. So you can also do egg substitute, which is nice if you're trying to stay within your BMR. Saves on calories a little bit. Maybe gives you a few extra calories for something else. You know, whether you just eat them as an omelet or, you know, use them for baking or whatever in recipes. Faye. I always have faye. Always, always have faye. My husband and I eat that like it's going out of style. And just any plain Greek yogurt. I always use the 0%, even P3, even though you can do the fats, you want the fats. But I can't find anything but the 0%. And I've tried other brands, and Faye is just my favorite. So that's what I stick with. Heavy cream is something I always have. Um, Condiment wise, I always have real butter, real mayonnaise. Um, you can make your own mayonnaise too. There's plenty of vlogs you can find on that. I've not been real successful with making it, so I just buy the Hellmann's real mayonnaise or whatever brand. Um, Dijon mustard is something I always have, and regular yellow mustard. Reduced sugar ketchup. Ketchup has sugar in it, um, more than just the natural sugars from the tomatoes. Check your labels. Um, Buffalo sauce. I always have buffalo sauce. I love that. My husband and I both do. Sugar-free pickle relish. I like to make a tartar sauce with just mayonnaise and pickle relish, and so that's what I use that for. And sometimes I'll put it on my meats. Sugar-free jellies, jams. It's nice to have. Almond milk is something I always have around. Unsweetened almond milk. You can get plain, you can get vanilla. I don't know if they have an unsweetened chocolate one or not, but anyway, almond milk. You can also get other kinds of alternative milks like hemp milk, coconut milk. You can get soy milk. I personally don't promote the soy milk, but you can search that for yourself and make your own decision there. Um, the veggies, I always have cauliflower, lots of it, always. I always have celery because it's a great dipper for your nut butters, and you know, I make an egg salad and put my egg salad on. It's just good stuff. Um, and of course lettuce, you know, spinach, romaine, whatever you want for like salads. I always have that. You gotta kind of watch the bagged salad mixes too, because I've honest to God never checked the label, but someone had once said on a vlog that it has starch in it. So I guess check that. And but yeah, we always have stuff in the fridge for salads. Careful with carrots and stuff, you know, that might be high in sugar. Um, and after it's open, you will find almond butter and Smucker's natural peanut butter in my refrigerator. And if you want to beware when it says natural on a label, don't just assume. Read your label. Read labels. It's important. Um, yeah, the ingredients on nut butters should be the nut that it's made with and maybe salt. That's it. Nothing else. If it says no stir on the label, I guarantee it's got sugar in it. So just read your labels. Be careful with nut butters too at first because they are high in calories. So if you're trying to stay within that BMR, you know, just go easy on them at first. But anyway, in my pantry, I'm sorry this is being long, but I knew it would be. Um, I always have the whey protein powder, and I always have like, I have plain, I have vanilla, strawberry, chocolate. Again, read your labels, make sure it's suitable. Your sweetener of choice, I do Splenda. That's not something that most people would recommend, but that is what I use. Most people do like stevia or something else, but I do Splenda. I have some Ideal Brown in case I ever need that. I seldom use it, but it's nice to have if I need it. I have coconut sugar, which I also seldom use, but it's nice to have too. I have blackstrap molasses. That's the lowest carb molasses you can get, and that's nice. I have some recipes that call for it. I don't have any liquid sweeteners, but I'm kind of on a budget, so I just don't buy them. And they have lots of liquid stevias, all different flavors. So check your health food stores or websites. Check for those if you want those. The Tyranny or the Da Vinci flavored syrups, I don't like them. So I've got a couple, but I very seldom ever use it. I really just don't care for them. I prefer to use like vanilla extract. The other extracts I have is orange extract, peppermint extract. I have some almond extract, which I don't really like. I bought it because I had some recipes that called for it. So let's see. And oh, and of course I have coconut oil and MCT oil. I have xanthan gum, which is a thickener. Almond flour, I make my own in my Ninja. It's real easy to make. Takes a little bit of time, but it's easy to make. Coconut flour, I always have that. I always have plain pork rinds. I grind those up in my Ninja as well, and I store those. I do like 6 bags at a time, and I store them in an airtight Tupperware container. I do use those a lot. They make good breading and good replacement for breadcrumbs. Grated Parmesan cheese. That's something I always have. I have flaxseed meal. I have my unsweetened cocoa. I have regular and I have dark. My favorite regular is Nestle's. So yeah, nuts. I have almonds. I love smoked almonds. Those are my favorite. Walnuts. I have walnuts, and those I like to sprinkle on top of salads. Mac nuts. Of course, I have Mac nuts all the time. Sunflower seeds. I like to put those on salads too. Um, Unsweetened coconut flakes is something I always have. Sugar-free chocolate chips. Watch for the maltitol. Trust me, it acts as a laxative pretty quickly for most people. So anyway, hot and spicy pork rinds. That's something we like to snack on. They're real nice to dip. If you have your dips, all these dips, well, what are you supposed to dip in them? We can't have chips. We can't have, pork rinds. The hot and spicy ones are my favorite. My husband's too. And they're good just plain too. If you just want a quick crunchy snack, it's good. Sugar-free Jell-O. We put that in our faye. So I always have tons of different flavors of sugar-free Jell-O. Sugar-free maple syrup. You can get the Walden Farms if you want, or there's different kinds. My favorite is either Log Cabin or IHOP sugar-free syrup, maple syrup. I actually, to be honest with you, I hate all the Walden Farms stuff. I don't like any of it. Most people do. I don't. They have chocolate syrup, they have strawberry syrup, they have salad dressings, they have some other things. I gave all mine away, so I don't like it. Think Thin bars. I always have those. Are wonderful, delicious. But I think I'm going to switch to the Atkins bars and try those out this time. They're a lot lower in carbs. Think Thin bars do have a lot of carbs in them, but I've never ever had a problem with them. But they're delicious. I could eat 2 or 3 of them, but I don't. I always have canned tuna. We eat a lot of that. I always have things like crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce, sugar-free marinara or spaghetti sauce or pizza sauce, stuff like that. I like to always have that stuff on hand. And when it gets into P4, I'll have like honey and black beans. Yeah. And another thing I'll have in my freezer when I get into P4 is, I wrote that down somewhere. But anyway, something else that I'll have is the Ezekiel bread. And I do add that in later on in P3. Definitely in P4, but I do really well with the Ezekiel bread. It's really good. Make sure it's sprouted grain. And if you have trouble finding it, they do have it at Kroger in the health food section. It is in the freezer section. So in case you're looking for it on a shelf, it's not on the shelf. And you want to store it in your fridge or freezer. I always store it in the freezer. They have the regular Ezekiel bread. They have raisin bread. They have English muffins, and they have raisin English muffins, cinnamon raisin, I think, English muffins. They have tortilla shells. Something else I'll add in, but this is definitely P4, is a Joseph's pita. That's good stuff. And in P4, I'll start adding in some lunch meats, but I'm pretty selective with what I buy. I make sure and check that ingredient list. So, okay, this is getting super long, so I apologize, but I wanted to make sure and put this out there for any P3 newbies. And I hope it's been helpful for you. See ya.